Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. Welcome to part 2 of our conversation with Wandia and Wandia of Vivo Activewear. She is our Shujaa.
You know, are we really responding quick enough when people ask for something that you can control?
Yeah. That's so true.
You know,
yeah.
So you've got to break it down and ask yourself, you know, what could I have done differently? And the lesson can teach you for the next time. And you're right. I think what excites me when I meet people, especially in the sort of retail fashion space, for the longest time, even when we were starting Vivo and when we decided to start local manufacturing, almost everyone I spoke to said, forget it.
You see? And that's what that's
forget
nothing.
It. It can't
Everyone
work.
always says no.
It can't work. I'm like, but why?
But why? Okay, I was going to ask, did you ask them why?
Yeah, why? No, people, you know, Kenyans won't
buy Kenyan.
Won't buy Kenyan. That was one argument.
That was one, I'm sure.
Secondly, you're not going to find tailors who have the quality. Or if you find them, they can't stay. They're not going to stay. Let me tell you, in 5, 6, now we're about almost 5 years of manufacturing.
Really?
Our turnover is less than 5%.
Amen. Well done.
The tailors, if you hire people right, and you find the right, you know,
the right fit,
and the right, I want to call it a agreement. You know what I mean? So because working any organization, it's about expectations, right?
Yes.
Are the expectations you have of them clear, and are the expectations they have of you clear?
Very clear.
And if that works, there's no reason people would leave.
And I'm sure you treat them
and
well.
if they leave, hopefully they're leaving to do something better.
Yes.
Let them grow and go set up their own thing, or let them, you know. So, I mean, and I ask myself, what is clothes? It's sitting behind a machine and stitching.
But there's passion in it.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, what I mean is, why is it that they said Kenyans cannot make clothes? Why?
I guess because people have tried it. I think first people have tried it and it hasn't worked before. And those arguments, they have those, you say I was even picking them up off you. They are actually valid arguments that people make all the time. Yeah, we won't buy Kenyan, we can't do it here, we won't be
But that's
consistent,
arguing for
we won't
limitations.
be able to keep the quality. But we are people who like to argue for limitations because, and thank God you didn't listen. And I'm telling you, it's the truth. Every time you present something to somebody, we won't say only Kenyans, but there'll always be an argument. There's even somebody who said, I think it was Kanji's dad at Anstark, he said, we learn to say shida ni. The problem is, yeah? So immediately something is presented, usually our argument is already thinking in our head, it's racing.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? What's going to counter that? What's going to not make that a
okay
possibility?
If you're looking at that from a, let's risk manage. What could go wrong so that we plan around that? So we have an alternative, or we have a plan B, or whatever else.
But let me tell you what people mostly will do is
stop.
So we're not going to take
the idea right away.
These are the possible scenarios, and how do we go around them or solve them? So we stop.
So what I did is I just kept asking until I found someone who said a different answer. Because I'm like, I'm not getting the answers I want.
But what if they hadn't said the right answer?
You keep asking.
But
you keep looking.
Would you do it? Wouldn't you?
No. So I needed some local advice, because what I was asking was not should I, shouldn't I. I was saying, I'm thinking of doing this. Where do I find machines? Where do I find tailors? And then everyone I spoke to was like, no. So Sally was the first person who said, Wandia, you can make it in Kenya. Why are you trying to find these things out there? We were on a buying trip. I was looking for the finished product. Here she was looking for fabric. She was like, come with me. Come with me to the fabric market.
Amazing.
You'll find fabric.
And I love that.
And I sent the fabric. I didn't know where it was going to go, who I was going to stitch it, what machines. And then I came home and I started now. Sally had still traveled. I was trying to ask other people. And until I found one lady. And she was like, no problem. In fact, when are you free? I'll take you tomorrow.
That's what I love.
I'll take you tomorrow, we'll go. She took me to River Road. We went to the machine suppliers. We met some tailors.
She knew where they were.
Yeah. So and that's how we started.
There's an element of, in both those stories, of somebody going out of their way to say, we can do this. Yes. Yeah? And I'll show you. Yeah. I won't just tell you.
We can do it. And here's some things you're going to have to think about. You know, make sure you do this. Make sure you stay away from that. Think about this. So it's not that you just go blindly you know, because it's difficult. Business, you're going to have to make decisions. You have to choose where you're going to put your effort, your energy, your resources, your time, you know, your money. So you do need to think about the risks and the challenges, but you, at the end of the day, you have to be optimistic. Let me tell you, if you go into a business not believing,
and not being optimistic about the business, and not seeing that even if you see the risks and the problems, I can get around them. But also I think there's and people out there, we have to help each other out, because they could have kept quiet. They could have just sat there and said, you know, it's okay, one day we'll figure it out. But they offered themselves and said, come, let's do this, you know, and took it to another level. And somebody came and said, I know where the machines are. And I'm sure there have been very, very many people on this journey who have lifted you up.
Passing it on. It's passing it on. And so my thing is, one of my favorite expressions is, a rising tide raises all ships. Exactly. By sharing our lessons, what has worked, what hasn't worked, a lot of people be like, that's going to help others. And so that now becomes your competition. No. I'm like, there's so much out there.
There is. And we can't fulfill all of it. Yeah, I like that. I like the tide. That when the water comes, it lifts everybody.
It will lift everybody.
Yeah, and sharing doesn't mean, or sharing and empowering somebody else doesn't mean it takes away from you. It's that we're all empowered and we can all go on this
So when I meet
together.
people who tell me, you know, your story has helped me start my own business.
It's given me the confidence.
It's given me the confidence to see, oh, you mean it can be done? You know? I'm like, that's what it's about.
Wow, that's amazing. So we love Vivo.
Oh,
you know, every time. I mean, it's. I remember. I think Caroline also did a show about it. So I remember she was saying the one thing is it is very affordable. You know, every time.
I mean, that's relative, though. I must say. I mean, okay, why? Well, because I think it depends where you sit. Yes. So for you know which income levels and stuff like that. So there are many people who do like our product and find it a little pricey. So if you're somebody who has typically, you know, buys a lot of mitumba or buys from, you know, some of the other, you know, exhibition stalls and whatever, you might look at Vivo and think, it's a little pricey. And it's true. But if you compare us to some of the other shops in the malls where we operate, and, you know, people, that
it's affordable. It's relatively affordable.
I think what I like to think is hopefully that we're offering value.
You are.
So when people buy something, it's like, okay, that's fair for what I'm getting.
Yes.
And when I look, but we are always trying to see can we manage these costs? Can we make it even more affordable? But it's hard. It's expensive. You're paying rents, you're paying salaries, you're paying, you know,
bills,
you're all the different
taxes as well.
The raw materials that have to go into it. Our tax bill.
I can imagine. I wouldn't even want to know. I just want to cry, but thank God
you
just
hope
pay
that.
it.
Yeah, of course, you have to. But the pricing, we do try and keep it reasonable.
I think it's a very reasonable price because it's for me, I find Vivo is always a very good gift. So if I'm buying a gift for somebody, people, I do. Nice. I find it's good, and then they can come in, they can exchange it. There's a lot of color, there's a lot of variety.
Thank you. You talked about. You know, for the longest time, we shied away from doing anything with African fabrics, but we're about to start. We're about to start doing some smaller collections, just a bit of, you know, a touch here and there, but combining it with the Vivo look
and feel.
Yeah. And I hope, and when we start, we will bring an outfit for you.
Myself, thank you so much. I will see you, but you know me, when I get to the mall, I have to pray. Because Vivo, I'm telling you, when I enter that shop, it just becomes disastrous. And I love it. It's disastrous in a good way. Is that we always shop. And then I love the Vivo effect on everyone. There's one day, honestly, I tell you stories. One day I was coming out of the shop and I saw a friend of mine pass and I said, I just asked her, she said, oh, I've never been in a Vivo. I said, you've never been to Vivo? Come in. So I left her there. I laughed at her because she was in the changing room with like 6 outfits. I said, success to you. But everybody who introduced to the brand, I was telling you about Dorcas the other day, who you said you'll also contact. I mean, they're completely crazy. I mean, they are always in Vivo, always. It's good for you, but they are always in there. They'll be wearing something and I'm like, is that Vivo? Yes. And for Dorcas, when you meet her, she says, because she does a lot of work, she does a lot of interiors, that your clothes are comfortable, very versatile, and she's able to do a lot with them. You know, they don't constrict her in terms of her trade.
So it's for the someone who's got a busy, active lifestyle.
Yes.
This is why we haven't changed the name, because active wear usually refers to fitness. But I'm like, you know what? We're doing clothes for the active woman. You know, active is not in the gym. No, doesn't have to be. It can be like up and down with your children. It can be on your projects. If you're like the interior decorator, you're visiting your different sites. You know, you're moving. You're on the move. You are always on the move. Yeah. You're on planes. You're traveling. You're doing this interview, going here.
And you know, I've just remembered when you're saying planes. You know, I went to South Africa. I told you I buy this the Vivo for gifts. So I was going to South Africa for some conference, and I passed by Vivo, and I just thought about the size, and I bought this lady this dress, and she took a photo and put it on. That's when I started. She put it on in social media. Everybody was like, "Where did you get that dress?" It was the one, remember, two-tone colors. Yes, it was like a two-tone. Everyone, even I felt so bad. I came back, bought one myself because I only bought her one. Then I was like, hey, this thing looks good. And that's why I'm always telling you, you know, for me, I'm always pushing you for expansion. Yes. I will not be happy until we have Vivo in every mall in South Africa. Wow. On a serious note. Because
and you think South Africa, not Nigeria?
Yeah, I don't know why for South Africa.
You really feel South Africa. You've said that.
I've said that so many times, Wandia, because I see it. When I go there, I'm saying the only thing that's missing in this mall is a Vivo. You know, and when I walk around and see the other shops that are there, I'm like, it would do very well. And I think the lady was the test. You know, if it was in my younger days, I'd have bought 10 outfits and shipped them off to her to sell. They said I'm too busy to do such stuff. But honestly,
and it has and we're going to
and it has an impact on the brand. People, there's a way, because the excitement was not that this dress was just two-tone. There was more excitement behind it, and that's another thing I want to talk to you about. I feel when I try Vivo or I wear Vivo, I feel your passion. Wow, I'm inspired. Are you inspired? I really, really am inspired. I think Wandia has really delivered an amazing interview and amazing conversations. Sometimes I like to call them conversations. And we're still celebrating Shujaa, and she's our hero. And so is Brand Vivo. God bless. See you next week.